Welcome to tonight's webinar. It's on eating good food. So my name's Mara, and I'm an independent distributor for HTE. And the information I'm going to talk to you about tonight is for educational purposes only. I'm not trying to be some healthcare guru or, give you any advice on how you should take care of your own health. It's purely informational. I do have some education in natural health. I am a herbalist and aromatherapist and a certified natural health professional. And my book is complete, and my book is called Healthy Habits Challenge, a guide to a healthy lifestyle. If you want to purchase a copy, you can purchase a copy at askmara.com. And we're kind of going through the book, and tonight we're going to talk about eating good food. So what is good food? Well, good food's food in the form God created it. It should be free of anything artificial, like lake blue colors and flavorings and chemicals. And usually it's, meat, fish, plant-based foods, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, and fruits. You should eat 3 meals a day. And each meal should, have one of the major food groups in it, fat, complex carbs, protein, snacks if you want. And I tell everybody it's best to not eat after dinner. So you should really kind of stop eating around, no food after 7, because your stomach and digestion start winding down around that. You're going to go to sleep, and your body's really busy when you go to sleep, cleaning and taking care of things. And I do not know what's going on here. So give me a minute. I'm having like technical issues. All right. So we're going to eat at approximately the same time each day, because you should get a food schedule. It shouldn't you don't want to confuse your body. You want to set a rhythm for your metabolism to regulate your appetite and your digestion. It needs to establish rhythm and regulate. So you want to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks if you need to do snacks, and regulate a rhythm. Your body starts storing food and doesn't digest if you eat breakfast at 8 o'clock and then you don't eat until the next day. So give your body a schedule that works for you. I like to focus on the big 4s when I'm doing meals: complex carbs, healthy fats, protein, and I eat tons of leafy greens and veggies, tons of them. So what are complex carbs? Our bodies love carbs. In fact, carbs are the body's main source of energy, but they can also be very problematic if you're not eating healthy carbs. So you don't want to eat processed and refined carbs like bread, pasta, cookies, cakes, and cereals. They lack fiber and nutrients, and that just leaves you hungrier. Complex carbs come from whole foods like fruits, vegetables, some nuts, seeds, legumes, grains that contain fiber and nutrients that the body needs. Complex carbs usually take longer to digest, keeping you fuller longer. So you want to eat like sweet potatoes and parsnips instead of white potatoes, whole grains like brown rice, quinoa, oats, rye, barley, buckwheat, Ezekiel bread instead of processed white flour. If you choose to do carbs, there's some people that have different opinions on diets, and we'll talk about that in a minute. You also want to make sure you eat healthy fats, because our bodies need fats to function properly. Our brain's actually the fattest organ in the body, 62% fat. Fats also help control hunger and promote a healthy metabolism, and we need fat to transport the fat-soluble vitamins of A, D, E, and K. It also protects our brain, our heart, and even prevents certain types of cancer, and it protects our organs. So you don't want to eat bad fats like canola, corn, cottonseed, safflower, sunflower, rice bran, and soybean oil. You want to eat healthy fats, which again are kind of whole foods. avocados, avocado oil, coconuts, virgin coconut oil, olives, extra virgin olive oil, nut butters, flaxseed, raw nuts, chia seeds, cold water, fish, butter, or ghee are some of the healthy fats. You also want to make sure that you eat protein. Protein is essential for our bodies. It's a key component of all the cells in our body, and it's needed for structural tissue as well as tissue repair. It's what helps us maintain a healthy musculoskeletal system. It also helps you feel full. Protein diets are shown to improve type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, muscle loss, and heart disease. And protein has one of the greatest impacts on our bodies at breakfast because we fasted overnight. And protein sources, of course, are meats like beef, lamb, pork, if you choose to eat pork, turkey, chicken, cottage cheese, tofu, tempeh, eggs, protein shakes, hemp. So there's a lot of sources of protein. You also want to make sure you eat leafy greens because they're overall wonderful for the body because they're packed full of nutrients. They're high in vitamin K, which helps our blood clot. They're full of fiber, so they help reduce cholesterol. They're a good source of antioxidants and carotenoids. They're high in B vitamins, which our body uses for energy production, calcium, which is needed to help with bone health. They also help to reduce your risk for certain types of cancers, and they are also a great source of proteins. So here is the quandrum of food. First off, I'm going to say this. Your diet is as individual as you are, okay? If you choose to be vegan or vegetarian or follow the paleo diet or a biblical aspect to eating, you want to do the blood type diet, you want to do the zone diet, you want to do the South Beach diet. You know, it's going to be specific to you. I don't think there's any one diet that works for everybody. And even in the quandrum of food, there's a big debate currently going on between Dr. Gundry and Dr. Furman, because Dr. Furman will tell you to focus on a plant-based diet full of whole grains and beans. And Dr. Gundry, whose book is just coming out, is going to tell you to avoid all whole grains and legumes and focus on more meat and vegetables. So you have to kind of choose what's right for you based on your own needs. Whether you're going to do weight management, whether you're facing metabolic syndrome, your type 2 diabetes, fatty liver, high blood pressure, whether you're in chronic pain or have a chronic inflammatory disorder, that's all going to affect your diet. So, you know, for me, there's certain things that I don't eat and I can't eat. Like I personally don't eat any pork. I don't eat any dairy, and I have very limited grains and gluten. Okay. So that's what I find works for me. I do eat lots of, I'm not vegetarian or vegan. I do eat beef and lamb and fish, and beans and brown rice. So when you think of all the diets out on the market, and the quandrum of food now about plant-based beef, you know, this and that. It's interesting. It'll be interesting to see where it goes. So when we look at this, you know, life's a multi-energy approach, just like everything in, I can't get rid of this box on my thing, so I can't read my slide. So the majority of food that we eat comes from plants and the rest animals. And if you look at that, even, you know, cows eat plants. So plants absorb elements from the soil and the air. Okay. And then they use the sun and they break down these elements into nutrients, and they create oxygen from the carbon dioxide that they absorb. So if you're looking at a biblical aspect of eating, God gave us certain animals and plants for foods, and a lot of big animals like cows and fish mostly eat plants. So when you look at that, plants are very nutritive, they're very strengthening to the body, and we should definitely be eating a lot of plants. So when you think of the multi-energy approach of the world, and you have, like I said last time, you have warmth from the sun and oxygen and nature and the plants and everything. You have the traditional Chinese concept and the Soki wellness products of thermal, electrical, nutritional, and motion energy. So Soki has nutritional products, and tonight we're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about Circugo, Go Green, and Betalo, and the benefits of these products. So here's a fact. Lack of nutrition is the leading cause of poor health. Dr. Furman says that fasting and natural diet should be the first treatment when someone discovers that he or she has a medical problem. And Hippocrates has always said that let food be thy medicine and thy medicine be food. So that's why I say your diet is going to be as individual as you are. So pay attention to your body. If you eat something that makes you feel really bloated and uncomfortable, keep track of that, because part of this challenge is being accountable for what we're doing, tracking the water we're drinking. Now we're going to start tracking the food we eat. So when you do have something, you might say, oh, I ate chocolate, or I had a lot of bread yesterday and today I'm not feeling well. And that may help fine tune what works for you or not you. So symptoms associated with the lack of good health are poor circulation, which can lead to obstructions, causing cold feet and hands, wounds taking longer to heal, an overall lack of energy, swelling, muscle stiffness, memory loss, leading to metabolic syndrome, pH imbalance, which leads to a disruption of the balance of the body, and immune system weakness. And these are the things that contribute to poor health when you don't eat good. So you want to keep your immune system healthy. You need it to protect your body. And to keep your immune system healthy, you have to manage your stress and you have to give your body good food. When you eat an apple, your body knows what to do with it. When I'm not being funny or sarcastic here, when I say when you eat a Twinkie or jelly beans and they have sugar and this type of blue food coloring and high fructose corn syrup and this preservative and this additive and 30 ingredients in the bag, your body's like, oh my golly, I've got a lot of work to do, because digestion requires a lot of energy. And I think when you look at the overall health of the body and you look at digestion and food, you want your body to recognize it. So viruses, bacteria, fungus, molds, and parasites all have to be dealt with by the immune system and digestive system in the body. Toxins, which can be emotional, environmental, and food. Not drinking enough water, stress, processed foods, preservatives, white flour, white sugar, artificial ingredients, and alcohol. Alcohol is high in sugar and hard for the body to process. So when you look at HTE and Soki, you have Soki Circugo, which is a super antioxidant with lots of berries, acai, maki, cranberry, noni fruit, grape seeds. It strengthens microcirculation with hawthorn, dates, garlic, and ginger, which heat up the body. Those are warming herbs. And it speeds up metabolism with artichoke. So plants are full of phytochemicals. And phytochemicals are basically biologically active compounds that are found in all plants. And they offer super protective health benefits beyond anything we really know about them and their vitamin and mineral content. So they offer a lot of anti-inflammatory, antioxidant benefits, which promote overall good health. And antioxidants help get rid of all those free radicals. And research studies show that plant polyphenols have strong antioxidant, antibacterial, and anti-aging effects. So plants have so much benefits. And that's why we have Soki Circago, because if you're not eating enough to help you and you need that extra boost to help with circulation and the body, then Circago is going to be great, because oxidative stress plays an important role in the development of many chronic disease, such as metabolic syndrome, cardiovascular disease, and antioxidants from food and dietary supplements can help mitigate this oxidative stress, especially when used synergistically. So essential oils, just like plants, work better together than they do individually. And antioxidants are great for helping the prevention of LDL oxidation, which can reduce your risk of atherosclerosis and also increase your blood vessel elasticity. So if you're already facing one of these problems, you may want to add something super nutritive and antioxidant like Soki Circago to speed up that process. We also have Go Green, which is a super green drink. It's a well-balanced blend of 77 quality ingredients. And I think Jeff is on the call, so I'm going to unmute Jeff. Jeff, are you there?
I am. Can you hear me?
I can. So I'm going to
Okay.
unmute you and you can talk about Go Green.
Sounds good.
All right. So, hey, everybody, Jeff's here. Say hi to Jeff. He can't hear you because I have you muted, but go ahead, Jeff.
All right. So I've been using Go Green for, ever since we invented it. And it's something I take on a daily basis. Are you guys getting an
Me
echo?
too.
Are you getting an echo, Mara?
Pardon?
Are you getting an echo like I am?
No. Yes,
Okay.
I am. From you?
Yes.
I'm going to mute myself.
Okay. All right. So I've been using it every day, like I said, for like the last 6 years, and I'm still getting an echo, but every time somebody comes into my office, I ask them, it's terrible when it echoes like this. Mara, why don't you come back on quick?
All right, I'm back.
Is it echoing on your end?
It is. It
Yeah.
is, and I've got everybody muted, but you and me.
Okay. Well,
Is it too annoying for you to share? You want me to go back?
yeah, I mean, if they're getting the echo like I'm getting the echo, it's not even a good thing.
Well, it's not that bad of an echo. It's probably worse on your end
Okay.
because it's not that bad on my end.
Okay, well, I'll give it a shot then.
Okay.
So when people come into my office, the first thing I always do is say, have you ever tried Go Green, or have you ever tried a natural greens? And they usually say no. And so I say, let me do a quick test. And I do the muscle test. And invariably, every time they do it, they fall over. And then I hand them a can of Go Green, and we do the muscle test. And 100% of the time, they go strong. And they always ask, what's that about? So then I have to explain to them that this is a live, raw, mostly organic and wild harvested product. And their body goes strong because their body wants it and needs it. And so then I tell them, if they want to taste it, let's do the next test. So I just put a scoop or two in water, and I use purified water. And I tell them it's going to taste the worst it's ever going to taste. And that kind of gets them thinking it's going to taste really bad. And I shake it up and give them a shot, and I drink a shot with them. And they go, oh, this isn't bad. And people like me that don't eat a lot of sugar actually think it tastes great. And then I do the muscle test again, and they're totally strong just after one shot. And I tell them they're going to actually be strong for the next 5 hours, because that's how much it keeps your body strong and healthy. Boy, that echo is really bothering me. So after they take that test and they taste it and they like it, then I tell them this is my multivitamin. And pretty much this one product covers all the things I need on a daily basis, except I do add a little bit of oil every day and enzymes and probiotics. So if you do something like that, you're going to have a pretty good healthy life. Most people don't eat enough raw fruits and vegetables, like you said, Mara. And my dinner tonight was a huge salad with mixed greens. Um, what else did we put in? Peppers. We had onions. We had, I mean, think of all the different vegetables, and we just threw them all together. Huge salad, elk brats, and a little bit of squash soup. So I pretty much eat the diet that Mara was talking about, being a pretty healthy diet. Every morning I have my oats and grains and fruits, and then lots of raw vegetables all day, and then 2 scoops of Go Green every day, sometimes 3 or 4. And I feel good along with the use of the equipment. And what we found too is that if people take the greens and the enzymes and then use the e-power machine, it just really forces all those nutrients right into the cells.
Absolutely, Jeff.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and Go Green's complete. It's got 77 quality ingredients in it. It has some enzymes, antioxidants, even a blend of traditional Chinese herbs, sea trace minerals, leafy greens, grasses, sprouts, and mushrooms. It's super nutritious. And I agree with Jeff. If you drink it daily, it's going to help protect your body from weakness, sickness, and disease. But you also got to eat a lot of the food, because I eat like Jeff. I had like a quarter cup of rice, cabbage, spinach, broccoli, a little piece of salmon. That was my dinner. So, you got to eat lots of nutrient dense food.
So basically, we need to be a product of the product. If you're going to market these products, you better be using them and believe in them. And you'll go a lot farther in this business if you are a product of the product.
Absolutely. Plus, it's the ingredients are grown in mineral rich soils. They're harvested at the right time for the peak nutrient levels. They are processed at low temperatures to maintain the constituents in the plants. And they contain ingredients to feed every organ of the body. Right, Jeff?
Yeah, when you said that it feeds every constituent of the body, basically it's feeding it's life force feeding our life force.
Exactly. That's how the whole world goes. We're energy based.
Yep.
So we take,
So,
the plants take the energy from the earth and the sun and the air, and we take the energy from the plants, the earth, the sun, and the air, and the plants get their food from the soil, and we get our food from them. Make sense?
it does.
And no, a lot of people don't think about that. How it's all interconnected energy wise. And
In
that's what
fact,
makes us.
I heard once that this really kind of smart, intelligent cook, he'll go around teaching cooking. He said in the wintertime, people need to eat, if you eat meat, you need to eat more meat in the wintertime because you got to get that sun energy. And we don't get a lot of sun in the wintertime in Minnesota. And I noticed that my body wants more meat in the winter and less in the summer. And he said, basically, pretend you're eating a cow. The cow gets all their energy from the grass, and the grass grows from the sun. So basically, when you eat the meat of a cow, you're getting a condensed sun energy. Interesting, huh?
It is. And it's not only that, but in the summer, we have all the fruits and vegetables, which are very cooling to the body. And in the winter, you have all your soups and meats and stews, which are warming to the body when the body needs to keep warm.
Exactly.
So, it all kind of, when it's 10 below zero, you don't want to really eat watermelon. You know what I'm saying? Or a bunch of fruit because it's cooling to the body and you're already cold. You want a glass of warm tea or some chili or some, beef stew, or elk stew like you would eat, Jeff.
Right.
So yeah, so that's what it is. And I'm going to go on and talk a little bit about Betalo.
Perfect.
Okay, because Betalo is a great product. It contains beta-1 3D glucan and aloe vera, and its active ingredient beta-1 3D glucan comes from the cell walls of Commons baker's yeast, and it's a pure carbohydrate complex. It's been studied and found that it activates the immune system's frontline defenders, which are your macrophages, neutrophils, and natural killer cells. It's one of the most relevant immune modulators on the market. And with today's superbugs and flu bugs and, people who don't stay home when they're sick and they should and spread everything around, you want to make sure that you're eating good food, you're taking Go Green, you're using Circuit Go if you need that extra boost, and you're taking something like Betalo to support a healthy immune system. The doctor that did all the Betalo studies, I can't even pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to say his name. He wrote a book, Beta Glucan, Nature's Secret. I've got the book, I've read it. And in his book, he wrote, when I share beta-1 3D glucan with his patients, he knows Betalo will help their immune system to be all that it can be. And a person with a competent, properly functioning immune system has an incredible edge over a lesser prepared one. There are also other agents that stimulate the immune system. However, glucans are in a class apart because those other agents push the immune system to overstimulation, which means they can make matters worse in the case of an autoimmune illness such as lupus, MS, rheumatoid arthritis, allergies, or yeast, where glucans stimulate the immune system, but they never do it to a point where it becomes overactive. So glucan's one of the few natural immune modulators that a lot of people can take. Some people still are going to need to use caution based on their mechanism. So I'm going to open up for questions right now. If anybody has any questions.
Okay. Bye.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah,
He has to have a question.
yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
Okay, I tend to I pretty much have taken rice out. I use quinoa.
Right,
I will use oat bran or steel cut oats or oatmeal.
right,
And I pretty much and I also started doing a few beans on a regular basis.
right.
Um, and of course, as far as the green leafy stuff, I don't get much of that.
Well, they're the best thing out there, and I have, you just got to play with them to make them where you like them if you have trouble eating them. But, I mean, John, I'm from the South. Don't you eat collard greens?
Uh, I live alone, and you just don't cook a lot of that kind of stuff when you live alone.
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I'm telling you, coconut oil and some collard greens and parsnips and a pan to simmer. I mean, I eat plates of that stuff.
Yeah, I generally I'll just throw them in a salad. I'd like to do a lot of raw foods.
Right.
Of course,
But,
we don't get the sub temperature we all get up there.
yeah, I got to make my veggies. In the summer, I tend to eat them raw, but in the winter, I tend to cook them. So, everybody on the call tonight, you want to eat 3 meals a day. Make sure you have a leafy green and a veggie at every meal. Make sure you're eating healthy fats and proteins, and you want to limit your portions. This isn't go out and eat everything you got to eat. You want to make sure that your protein portions are about the size of the palm of your hand, which is good for you. And if you're going to eat carbs, eat complex carbs.
Would quinoa be I consider quinoa a good substitute for rice of any kind.
Yeah, I mean, you know, John, everybody has to do what's good for them. I eat a lot of
Yeah.
quinoa. I eat a lot of I even eat wheat bulgur at times in the summer. You know, I'll make bulgur. Um, it just depends on what works for you. I eat
Yeah.
very little rice. I probably have rice once or twice a month. So I don't eat a lot of grains or pastas. Most of what I eat is meat, vegetables, and fruit.
Would what about is it possible you'd have get too much grain or something would cause gases issues?
No, I just, you know, I'm just really weight conscious
Yeah.
and I just don't really crave grains. I've always been more of a meat and veggie eater. I've kind of been
Right.
that way my whole life, and that's kind of where I feel good. Meat, veggies, and fruit,
Yeah. Okay.
and some nut butters, and I'm pretty good there.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, I don't do a lot of dairy. I'm allergic to dairy. I don't do a lot of gluten, and I don't eat a lot of, you know, pre-prepared foods.
Yeah. Yes, and I have a weird work schedule. I'm up at 2:30 in the morning, and I get off at 12:30. Then later on that day I do other things. So
Right.
and here I am. It's 8:30 now, so
Right.
almost anyway.
Right. And here, I mean, and just remember, our bodies make billions of cells each and every day. And in order to make healthy cells, you need to give your body healthy things. So it's never too
Yeah.
late. You can
Yeah.
always do that. And another thing to keep in mind is your body doesn't repair cells, it replaces them. So, you know,
Yeah.
when you got to get rid of the bad cells, and then you got to build healthy new cells.
Okay. You say your books on your site?
My book's on my website, askmara.com. It's called Healthy Habits Challenge. It's not very long, but it's very concise and it's packed full of information.
It'll be on your home page.
Yeah, at askmara.com.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming. And then next month, we're going to be talking about exercise and the Soki products and how they help the body move.
All right.
All right, thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Jeff.
You bet.
All right.
Have a good day, Jeff.
Thanks, you too.